All right, welcome here to the next episode of Phoenix Rising Live. I'll be doing these twice a day now on most days. Why? Because it's fun, it's inspiring, and it's a way for me to start my workday and end my workday. And these are the hours that I definitely prefer. Normally, this will be around 12 noon, but it's better late than never. And it's really not late because the topic of today is discussing this idea of compatibility. And I think let's just start it off with this idea of what's compatible with our souls in terms of an experience. And I was just discussing how normally I'll do this at 12 noon Eastern time, and it's 12:37. And some people consider that late. If you're not on time as agreed, you're late. And obviously everything's taken in the appropriate context, but what's most compatible with you in terms of your timing? It's not about anyone else. Certainly there's agreements you make with others to agree on doing things in a certain way, but to insist upon it, to assume that it's going to manifest the way you're even initially planning is, from my perspective, inappropriate. That's not what this soul evolution game is all about. And if the timing's there, the timing's there. And if the timing's different than you expected, then it's different than what you expected. And simply by just allowing that, allowing space for that, naturally allows things to harmonize and to synchronize and to flow together more harmoniously. So that's the idea of today. What is this idea of compatibility? It's an energetic experience. I'll just take, for example, the idea of a coaching relationship with someone, a coach and a client, and the idea that not every coach-client relationship is compatible. Sometimes the energetic dynamics are simply not there. And rather than try and create them, because there's a lot of techniques, languaging patterns, etc., things out there that look to reframe, recalibrate, picture yourself in a different frame for people. And at a certain level of consciousness, that's great because that's what people are looking to buy, this kind of artificial construct, if you will. And all of those techniques, they're a gateway into higher levels of awareness, greater levels of depth. But at the greatest level of depth, your core soul purpose, you in your true essence, there's a level of compatibility with the world. There's a level of compatibility with those you're meant to serve. There's a level of compatibility for those you're meant to have friendships with or a romantic relationship with. So discovering what your natural sense of compatibility is, and certainly in taking personality tests and things of that nature, can give you a glimpse. But again, they're just labels. And if you recall from the last transmission, we were discussing the idea of labels and that they're not something to rely on or depend on. They can give you a reflection, an idea. And people love this. People love having this solid plan, this solid knowing. This is how it works. I've seen it work this way, so this must be the way it is. And that's a belief system. That's a belief construct, albeit it's strong. I could feel the intensity of it as I'm speaking about it. Because when people gather so much evidence in their lives, they believe what they're seeing is true. But that doesn't mean it's true. That means it's the experience they're creating for themselves. What's beyond that experience? Well, maybe what's beyond that experience is not relevant for them, but if it's relevant for you, there's no reason to get lost in their constructs or to buy into it. That would be a bad investment for you. As much as it may be helping them, it may not be helping your soul development and growth. So it's always important to know what's compatible with your soul. And you can feel it instantaneously. You can feel an instant compatibility, an internal knowing that this is the right person. This is what I need in my life right now. This life experience isn't about long-term commitments. It's also not about short-term thinking. It's not about fast food experiences. It's neither of those. It's fully respecting the moment and respecting the energy of the moment. And people misunderstand this. People use changing energy as an excuse for the reasons why they can't move forward on something, whether it's a personal relationship or a professional endeavor. And then people also use the idea of discipline and focus as an excuse to not paying attention to the energy of a situation. There's higher levels of awareness here that most people simply don't pay attention to. It's accessible to everyone, but having that deep internal knowing that you're always supplied by source, you're always supported by existence. Your only job, really, from my perspective, is to let go of the layers of self-deception that negate that idea. And a lot of people distract themselves along the journey, and that's their journey. So it's not really a distraction. But if it's a distraction for you, then it's a distraction for you. So you have to be honest. With yourself. And then honest with others in the way that's most appropriate. And that compatibility of communication may be different from person to person, from experience to experience. Some people requires an entirely different level of communication, and sometimes it's just not there. So rather than pleasing them, just be silent with them. May feel uncomfortable, maybe for them, maybe not for you, maybe for you as well, and that's something to look at. But if people aren't speaking on your level, if they're not compatible with you, don't try and fit yourself into their thinking. What's the point of that? That's not an authentic relationship. You're being deceitful to them and to yourself. So knowing your true essence of compatibility in this life, whether it's with a romantic partner, a business partner, a client, a friend, a circumstance. Am I compatible with this truly? And if the answer is no, the answer is no. There's nothing you need to change in yourself to make it compatible. Allow your soul to speak. It's very simple. People want to complicate this. They want to make it harder than it is. That's the old paradigm of thought. It's still quite prevalent in my reality, and it's dissipating, even as I speak about it, because that's what disappears the old constructs, is bringing them into the light of your consciousness, experiencing them, accepting them, embracing them, acknowledging them, and allowing them to transform. In a sense, it's a positive form of rejection or a positive form of denial, you could say, because you're recognizing it's just not true for you, so it disappears. And when you feel yourself in the grasps of a belief system, speaking with someone, or just in a circumstance of your own creation, which is always the case, and it's making you uncomfortable, it's suppressing you, remember, it's not doing any of those things. You're doing it to yourself with your own energy. So what could you do differently in those circumstances? How could you broadcast your creative self-expression in a greater way? Simultaneously, there's nothing to convince people with. If they don't see your vision, they don't see your vision. That's it. Let them go. They're not compatible with you. So take these ideas to heart as normal. Take them seriously in the sense that they'll help you. If it resonates, you're probably not watching if it isn't. And just be peaceful. about your life. It's happening anyway. There's nothing you're missing. That's the truest form of compatibility. And from there, things will arrive that need to arrive. Some people don't want to live that way. They need a strategy. They need something more. Let them have it. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. But what do you need? Pay attention to that. It's the only thing that counts. Your own soul development, your own soul communication, your own soul compatibility with life and everything that's contained within existence. It's here for your growth, your support. And I appreciate you joining in this venture with me. Thank you for watching. And I will see you this evening on another episode, as well as tomorrow for the Phoenix Rising Masterclass every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. PhoenixRisingMasterclass.com to register. Join us. It's free to attend. If you're watching, this is for you. Embrace your gifts. Embrace your inner power. Speak with your soul. Align with all that is. That is what we will be accomplishing during the masterclass tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you there. Much love and bye for now.